Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I feel like I haven't done a sit down video in so long. All of my videos recently seem to be unboxings or vlogs. I've been so busy, so sorry I couldn't do more of these sit down videos for you guys, but I'm doing one today and I think I'm going to have a lot more time to film more of these in the upcoming few weeks. So anyways, today I wanted to talk about something that is a little bit controversial. You probably saw from the title already. It's going to be unpopular luxury opinions, and some of these opinions are sort of responses to questions that I've been asked a lot since starting this channel. Other things are just opinions I've formed from luxury shopping throughout the years, and I feel like I have to put a disclaimer here that everyone likes different things, everyone has different tastes, you know, we don't all have the same style and whatnot. So yeah, just keep that in mind. This is meant to be kind of like a lighthearted video, just slightly poking fun at some of the things within this luxury community. And I do have a lot of opinions which are probably unpopular in this space, but I wanted to kind of just focus on 5 in today's video. If you guys like this type of video, let me know and I can definitely make like a part 2 or a part 3 or whatever. I do have a lot of these opinions. So yeah, let's get into this video. So I'm going to start with the unpopular opinion that led me to start jotting down notes for this video. A few days ago, I saw this article about Lisa from Blackpink attending the fashion show for Celine. I believe it was like the fall collection for the men's range, something like that. So it got me to thinking that, oh my gosh, Celine really uses her so heavily to promote their brand. And this got me to remembering, this was like back in 2020 or something like that. I was at Celine checking out their belt bags, and one of the first things that the sales associate said to me once I entered the store was that, oh, Lisa is a big fan of this brand. No last name, no mention of, you know, like who she really was. And at that point, I kind of knew about Blackpink, but I didn't really see the connection between the two things. And I remember asking the sales associate, who is Lisa? Does she have a last name? And strangely enough, she couldn't answer me. She couldn't like tell me any more information about Lisa. You know, if she had said, oh, she's one of the singers, one of the members in Blackpink, I would have known who she was talking about. But to mention someone who is like an ambassador for your brand and not really be able to tell me any information about, you know, like what product she endorses or anything. It's just so strange. And she even asked the other sales associate that was working that day who Lisa was, you know, what's her last name, why is she famous, what does she do, and neither of them knew. I guess they just got, you know, like information from like head office or something like that, that, you know, if you see someone who's Asian walk in your door, definitely mention Lisa because, you know, that's a big selling point or something like that. But obviously it didn't work on me, and that has become kind of like an inside joke between me and my husband. If someone mentions someone we don't know, we're just like, who's Lisa? So anyways, yeah, I feel like there's kind of like a fine line with using celebrities to endorse your product. And I'm totally fine with seeing like models or other celebrities or whatever, you know, wear clothing or bags or jewelry or anything from a luxury brand to promote it. But that's kind of more natural type of marketing in my opinion. But when something's like really being pushed in my face, like for example, when I'm walking into a store and that's like one of the first things you say to me, I think that's going a little bit overboard. And yes, I do love my belt bag from Celine, but like ever since then, I feel like I've seen like so much promotion from Celine related to Lisa wearing their items, and I think it's just kind of like, it's too much and it kind of turns me off of the brand. And you know, it's funny because all the other members of Blackpink also are ambassadors for various brands like Chanel, Saint Laurent, and Dior, and I don't see anywhere near this level of marketing and advertising for those people. And yeah, I love all those other brands too, and I think it's like a lot more palatable when, you know, like the advertising is more natural. Okay, so for unpopular opinion number 2, please let me know if my view on this is just skewed by being on social media too much. So on social media, Instagram specifically, I feel like I see a lot of photos of like the perfect stack where people just have like so many bracelets on one arm, and that doesn't look particularly appealing to me whatsoever. I feel like 2 bracelets on one arm is like the maximum. I have tried stacking like multiples on one arm before, so I right now have the Love bracelet and the Just Include bracelet, both in the slimmer version on my left hand, and this is kind of like perfect to me. At most, this is all I would wear. And when I got, you know, some of my newer bracelets, I tried adding that to the stack to see how it looked. And for one, it was crazy heavy. I feel like my hand was just like dragged down. I could like barely lift it. And it was just overwhelming. Just like, it was a little bit too clustered, and it was just like a little messy in a way. And I just didn't like how it looked. And I don't necessarily think it was strictly because the bracelets that I had just didn't layer nicely. I just think that, you know, like less is more in a way. You don't have to wear like every single item that you own at the same time. And yeah, there is kind of like the illusion of like the perfect stack on Instagram, like I said, but in reality, when you're actually wearing it, it's not going to look like that. Things are going to get tangled, stuff is going to overlap one another. Even if you did think that, you know, those crazy stacks of bracelets look nice on Instagram, I don't think you would necessarily feel the same way in real life. You know, when someone's hand is just down and everything is just like all like tangled up on someone's arm, I don't think you would feel the same way about it. And I feel like I see a lot of people layering like 3+ love bracelets, and sorry if I offend any of you guys, but come on, dude, who needs 3 love bracelets? Like, switch it up a little bit. Buy something from Van Cleef or Pels, or buy something from Bulgari or Tiffany's, or like any of the other ones that like exist out there. Who really needs 3 love bracelets? When you wear them side by side, it basically just looks like one giant chunky bracelet. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the most unpopular opinion in this video by far, but let me know what you guys think about this point. So I think a lot of the times we get caught up in trying to buy the most classic bags or the bags that are the best investments. And usually these 2 ideas go hand in hand. It's usually the classic bags that retain their value the best and would be great investment pieces. You know, if you wanted to sell them 5-10 years down the line, you have like your best chance of making all your money back. Even though I don't really think that that should be the biggest factor when you buy a bag. Yeah, but I have to admit that is definitely something to consider. But I wanted to touch on Chanel specifically for this unpopular opinion. And the unpopular opinion is that Chanel's seasonal bags, a lot of them actually look better than their, you know, like classic bags that they bring back season after season. When I enter the boutique, usually it's the seasonal bags that really catch my eye. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that just has to do with the fact that, you know, the seasonal bags are much more plentiful in the boutiques than their classic ones. But whatever the case is, you know, it's usually the seasonal bags that kind of catch my eye the most. And for that reason, I really do think that, you know, like the seasonal bags a lot of the times are much prettier than the classic bags. And I personally need to be better about this in the future and not just write off these seasonal bags just because, oh, they're not classics. And specifically with Chanel, you know, a lot of their seasonal bags do have the classic features of like their classic flaps. And you know, what makes a Chanel bag a Chanel bag? For me personally, I think it's the quilting as well as that chain with the leather interwoven through it. And so many seasonal bags have those same 2 features. And you know, if it looks pretty, I should just buy it, right? Okay, so is it just me? Am I the only person that is feeling totally fatigued by Dior's Toile de Jouy pattern? I mean, they put that on like everything. It's either that or the oblique pattern that is just like completely taking over everything in their store. And I mean, I love the Toile de Jouy pattern and it's so gorgeous. But they've done it in like every single variation at this point. You know, they had, when they first released it, they had a blue, a gray, and did they have a pink one too? Like, I think those were the first few iterations of the Toile de Jouy pattern, and then they did this reverse one. They have these really, really bright ones as part of their Riviera collection right now. And then they had this, which was like kind of like a color blocking type of thing where it just had like the stripe pattern on it. Basically, they've done so many variations of this Toile de Jouy pattern that I have completely lost count at this point. And it's just so redundant after a while. And like I said, I love this pattern. I can't say the same about the oblique pattern, but the Toile de Jouy, I really love this pattern, but this oversaturation is making me not really like it as much anymore. And you know, like every collection, Dior does kind of release these other patterns as part of their collection. And I feel like they should kind of expand on those a little bit. There are some that look really stunning that I feel like they could release those in more colorways instead of going back to the Toile de Jouy and just tweaking it and making it in like a slightly different shade of blue. I don't think that, you know, there are so many people that would be collecting like 10 different shades of blue Toile de Jouy patterns in their collection. So I really think that there needs to be some more creativity and innovation at Dior. You know, you can't just continuously rely on one single pattern and spin that off into, you know, like 100 different branches that all really just end up merging together anyways. Yeah, I'm just, it kind of is a weird thing to say, but like, whenever I see more of the Toile de Jouy pattern at Dior, I'm just like, really, again? Like, it doesn't make me excited. And for my final unpopular opinion, now that I'm thinking about it, I think this actually might be more unpopular than the one previously about jewelry. So this unpopular opinion is I would personally pay the outrageous prices at Chanel rather than play the Hermes game. And there's multiple factors to this. One, I just think that Chanel's items look prettier. The design itself looks nicer than the corresponding Hermes stuff. So like the Chanel bags look nicer than Hermes bags, their fine jewelry looks better than the Hermes fine jewelry, and their ready to wear looks nicer too. Just everything overall looks nicer compared to the Hermes counterpart. And the other part of it is just that whole game just kind of puts this bad taste in my mouth, and I don't want to take part in it. I don't think it's personally worth it for me, even if, you know, like the end goal is this amazingly crafted bag. I just don't think it's worth it to spend like $10,000 on stuff that I don't even particularly like just to get perhaps offered this like holy grail bag, which I'm using the term holy grail as like a general term that people use to refer to these bags, but I don't even think it's like a holy grail bag for me personally. So yeah, just like the whole thing just doesn't feel right to me. And the good thing about Chanel, like generally speaking, from my experience at least, is that if I walk into a boutique and they have a classic flap, you know, available, they will sell that to me. And I don't know if it's just like a North America thing or like a US thing. I think it's different in some other countries, but if I were to go into a boutique and if they had the classic flap in stock, they would sell it to me. I don't have to have like built a history with one specific sales associate. I don't have to have spent the equivalent in price of a classic flap in order to buy that. You know, like I don't have to do any of that, jump through any of those hoops. Like for example, the most recent time that I went into the boutique, they had multiple classic flaps available, and some of them I think were like pretty popular for the collection that just got released, the 2280 collection. So I could have purchased those if I wanted to. And even though it is a lot of money and the price increases these past couple of years have been kind of like crazy, I'd still rather do that and just get the item that I want instead of going through Hermes and having to do like tick off all these little boxes before ultimately getting a bag. Yeah, I know that the game is not for everyone. Definitely it's not for me. So that is it for this video with 5 of my unpopular luxury opinions, and let me know what you guys think about the things that I discussed today. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and do you like this type of video? This is definitely just like the tip of the iceberg for all my unpopular opinions, so I think I could really like do a lot more videos on this type of topic. But yeah, let me know if you would like to hear more about this. I kind of think it's interesting, but I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way. So anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do put out new content on luxury and fashion every single week, and I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you guys to watch next. So I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.